so before I start this next episode, I'm just going to talk about and show you guys how I've worked towards getting a strict handstand push-up in the past. So I actually did a program for a long time, probably like 6 months, working specifically on stuff, on drills and everything, try and get a strict handstand push-up. Still couldn't get one. So I actually thought, like, how could I go about getting that full range of motion and moving my body weight, or as much as my body weight as possible. And then I thought about like how we do strict pull-ups and we utilize a band on the rig and stuff. So I actually got my husband to build me this, okay? So it's got like a beam up the top and then the bands go over the top. And then I utilize the bands to take some of my weight so I can do a full depth strict handstand push-up. So I grab on the bands. So I grab one of the bands, put my arms through and my whole body, put it underneath the back of my scaps. Then from here, kick up into a handstand against the wall, and then the band takes part of my weight and I can go through a full range of motion of the handstand push-up rather than just working part of the range. I can actually go to the full depth. Even when I was trying to get a strict handstand push-up as well, I could have plates there and work through a deficit. So that's something you guys could try at home, okay? Set something like this up if you're really struggling to get strict handstand push-ups, and it just might work for you guys like it did for me. Welcome back to another episode. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, please hit that like button, subscribe, keep up to date with what I'm trying to share with you guys. So what I wanted to chat to you guys about today was nutrition. So I've actually been following my nutrition. I've actually been counting macros and stuff for a very long time. Probably 2 or 3 years ago, I started to get quite serious into it. I started off with RP strength, but I found that it was too restrictive on the calories and I was losing weight way too fast and it just wasn't what worked for me. Then I went to M2 Performance Nutrition. Their programming nutrition stuff was really great for me. I really found it worked. I dropped weight, but slowly over a period of time. Their program for me was where it was just consistent calories Mondays right through to Sunday. I was always on the same kind of thing. It didn't really change. I only changed when my goals changed or if I started plateauing in some sort of way. And then I actually stopped doing my nutrition for about a year and I just kind of, enjoyed and relaxed a little bit. I always still kind of tracked loosely, however, I wasn't being strict or recording everything as much as I usually would and weighing and measuring. And then probably, I would say this time last year maybe, I started working with Welcome to Weight Loss. So initially I worked with a guy by the name of Ty, and then my friend Jade, she actually started in her affiliate as well, so in CrossFit Midnight Life, and then I started working with her. In probably the past 3 months, I started to be a lot more consistent with everything, and I actually went from about 67 kilos down to 63 kilos. I consistently stayed about 63 to 64 kilos now. And how her nutrition works is I'll have, say, a low day, then a moderate day, then a low day, then a moderate day, and then I'll have higher days on the weekends. So that way I've got like this, like I'm in a deficit the whole time. However, it's not like how M2 Performance was where I was on the same consistent calories the whole week. It kind of like ebbs and flows, and then I have high days on weekends, but it still weighs out and measures to be the same amount of consistent calories throughout the week. So if you know anything about nutrition, your body doesn't really understand. So if you're consistently eating regularly, and tracking your food all the time, as long as you're getting in the energy over a certain period of time, then your body will adapt to it and change to it. So I've actually been working with Jade for quite a while and happy with the changes. Jay's actually started working with her as well, and he's dropped a fair bit of weight. The good thing is we haven't lost any strength or anything like that, which is nice. It's been a fair few months, and mine has been a slow decrease over time. So like I said, I started at 67, but when I first started about a year ago, I think I was about 68-ish. So I've dropped quite a fair bit of weight. However, if you look at my weight loss chart, it'll show like up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, but it's consistently going down over like quite a long period of time. So that's what the kind of nutrition you want. You don't want it to be just straight down. You do want to have some ups and downs throughout it, because weight loss is not about just going trajectory straight down. So I did want to have this conversation with people in regards to nutrition. So obviously myself and Sage and Jay as well, we both know a lot about nutrition. We both understand macros. We both understand food. We've been doing this for a very long time. We could easily do and track our own food. However, we pay someone else to do it. Now, I feel that if you're going to be doing this, okay, and you want to get that little bit of a competitive edge in CrossFit, you should be paying someone else to do your nutrition, because being accountable to someone else makes it a lot more easier to stay consistent than what it is if you are doing your own kind of food and macros. Also, they can practice, they can program and track all of your food around when you do like your bigger training days and stuff. So we usually train a lot more on the weekends. So having high days on the weekends really works well for us, and it also fits into our lifestyle because we don't work on the weekends as well, so we can relax a bit, go out to breakfast, go out to dinner. So it definitely works a lot better for us because we are doing a lot of our high volume training days on the weekends, and having that higher food on the weekends allows us to have a little bit more flexibility because we don't work on weekends either. So it's nice to have that as well. In saying that, if I was doing this myself, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'll let myself have a little bit of leeway here, or a little bit of leeway here. But when you've got a number set by someone else and you have to, like, you know, tell them your weights, and you have to tell them your calories, how many calories you took, and you have to record your protein intake and stuff like that, it makes you way more accountable, and you're more likely to succeed with your nutrition if you're working with someone else. So I definitely think it's a benefit to work with another person rather than trying to go it alone. Especially if you're new to nutrition stuff, get yourself a coach. Like, you will learn so much more from having someone else in control of like how much food you should be intaking, rather than trying to do the guesswork yourself. I learned all of my nutrition stuff and how I understand food and everything mainly from working with other people. I didn't go and try and research all the information. I went to people who like specialize in this, and that's how I learned all of my stuff. It's like when I started CrossFit, you know, I went to a CrossFit gym where I was coached in the movements and I was taught that stuff. Then I went on my coaching courses and stuff, and that's how I learned all about how to do CrossFit and teach it. I didn't just try and teach myself. The same sort of principle applies with your nutrition. If you feel that you want to get that competitive edge, you should be looking at getting a nutrition coach to do that for you, to keep you more accountable and to make sure that you're doing it right. Because a lot of people don't understand they're under eating and they can't lose weight because they're not consuming enough proteins, or they're not consuming enough carbohydrates to fuel their body for when they're working out and stuff. So there's heaps of science that goes behind it. And to take out the guesswork, the best thing you can do is work with someone else. So Jade has Midnight Health and Nutrition. I'll put the link down below. So make sure you guys go and check her out. She's pretty good. I really enjoy working with her. Everything's through an app and stuff as well. And she leaves comments and feedbacks, and you can have a look at what your weight loss is. She puts like updates and stuff as well, which is really good. I struggled to start with the low days and then having some high days and stuff, but once I got used to it, I'm now actually like, I really enjoy having those low days and then having higher days as well, rather than the same consistent stuff like I had with M2 Performance. Working with Jade has really like changed how I feel about nutrition, and it's nice to actually see like abdominals coming back as well, which is a positive. So yeah, check her out. Make sure you go and give her a like, support it, and if you're interested in working with your nutrition and improving it, she's the girl to talk to. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure, if you haven't already, please hit that like button, subscribe, keep up to date with what I'm trying to share with you guys. Thanks, crew.